Hello and welcome to this weekly review video that I'm doing on Fridays. I'm not sure how long I'll be doing that because I'm taking on more things, but I'm going to do this weekly review for this week and I'm going to talk about three things. I'm going to talk about the weekly trading review, right? What I'm ashamed of and what I'm proud of this week, and how I broke out or how I break out of drawdowns. And also going to show you an equity curve. So we are in the month of April, right? I started out this month with 4% the first week in drawdown. So I'm always having my starting balance at a level. Let's say if I have 100K, my starting balance is at 100K at the start of the month. So I always have that reference point from that number. If I go below it, that's what happened at the beginning of the month, and I'm going to show you how I broke through out of uh, the drawdown. Because when I'm below the starting balance, I don't have a buffer enough to be able to risk more on my trades. So this is the trading week. It's been a great week this week. I've a great week. But you can see that my risk is so low. You can see that my risk every time I take a trade is 0.5%. Why? Because I'm still under my starting balance. I'm going to show you this inside of the equity curve. Tuesday, I I did the same thing. I risked 0.5% because I was under my starting balance. I'm thinking always about the percentages number that's under the starting balance until I reach zero, basically. Until I reach zero, then I can be able to risk more or take more trades that have higher risk on them, right? If they're good, basically. So I took a win. This could have been a win on Wednesday, but I got stopped at break even, unfortunately. And now, when I'm over the starting balance, I am able to risk more. That's how it works. So the total gain of this week is 4.6%, and because I came from a drawdown, um, this is my equity curve. Let me show you. So this is the starting balance. This is so important to get because we all can blow accounts, right? If we don't do it correctly, we can all blow accounts. Let me show you. Let me insert the equity curve right there. This is my equity curve, right? This is my starting balance. I started at the beginning of the month. I lost and I hit minus 4% at the beginning of the month. So to be able to break through and go over the starting balance, this is what I do. I risk 0.5% until this is risk management 101. I risk 0.5%. There's 0.5% on all the trades I've taken. It takes longer, but if I risk one, you can see the losses that doesn't affect that much. And if I risk 1% or I start over leveraging and over risking, my equity curve will be like this: one loss, that goes to two losses, that goes to three losses, and it takes me even longer to get back. This is why, working a 9 to 5, a lot of people say, I want to start trading and making money to be able to quit my 9 to 5. Some people are comfortable, just to be transparent and clear here. Some people are comfortable with working a 9 to 5 and having a monthly paycheck every month coming into their bank account. Some people are not comfortable with that. Some people can't have the structure or the management of money that they make money every month. It's not like some of the months are going to be losses, and you can't rely on a monthly paycheck with trading because we never know when this is going to happen, right? And we need to protect ourselves from ourselves to not get in these scenarios, or when we get into these scenarios, we should break out of them as smooth as possible without creating more drawdown, right? So until I reach my starting balance which is this one, and then even here, I believe I risked 0.5%, and I risked 0.5 because I didn't want to go back down to the under the drawdown, and then I started risking more, and now I'm at 3% in my account. Do you see how it works? So, next things next is this is so important because you don't want to risk more. You don't want to risk more in drawdown because you don't have a buffer. Here, I'm able to risk more because I have a buffer to be able to grow. Now I have another buffer. I'm not saying that I'm gonna continue winning all the other trades that comes next week. But if I lose, I should lose the buffer amount and not break through to hit the drawdown period. All right? Even this is bad, to be honest. Reaching minus 4% and letting it go all the way to minus 4%. So, and this, if I reach 0.2%, not 0.2, minus 2%, I should have cut my percentages. I should halved it. So I'm going to go through the trades I've taken today, this week. This week has been a great week, basically all winning trades. So this is the school run. The school run have been performing a lot, very good this week. This is the trade I took. The candle broke outside of the first 15-minute candle broke outside of the range, right? It was a too huge of a candle to take a stop loss on. I waited for it to reach liquidity equilibrium level, took the trade. This was a limit order. Took a trade limit order, meaning I put the order on my broker and I put my take profit in a stop loss area and I don't even look at the trade. This is basically automated. The thing with this trade is like I'm proud of my take profit system right here. Why? Because there's no take profit areas right here. There's no data on the left for me to take profit from. So we usually take profit from high time frame fair value gaps, like 5-minute or 15-minute or 50-minute fair value gaps, or high time frame liquidities, like 15-minute liquidity or 1 hour liquidity. That's why when we mark out our take profit areas. But there wasn't anything on the left. So we couldn't. I'm happy with the 1-to-1. Right? That's one trade. Tuesday, the 14th of April, feel free to backtest this during this week. There's another school run here on the DAX. So the same thing happened here. It was too big of a candle to take the trade from, reached the 50% mark. It even went lower than the 50% mark, but this is where the trade was taken. I took this manually. And unfortunately, I didn't take, like this was a 1-to-2, but I 1 to 2.3, but I didn't take full take profit on the first position, which I should have, and I became a bit greedy. I could feel the greed growing inside of me, and I wanted to take the other take profit right here. So the thing that I should have done is be happy with the 1-to-2. Be happy with the 1-to-2 without that much effort, really. We should put that as a reference. I like the one Juva talked about. What is your reference in your 9 to 5? If you're making $150 to $250 a day on your 9 to 5, if this trade can give you I don't know, $400 or $500 on this trade, are you happy with that? Right? I'm saying this to myself. So I'll always use that as a reference. Wednesday, the 15th of April. So on Wednesday, this is a trade I'm not very proud of. Why? To be honest with you, sleep affects my trading a lot. If my sleep is not good, if my son comes to me in the middle of the night 3 times and wants to wake me up and he's scared and he had bad dreams, like I'm just being I'm being completely transparent and honest with you. Sleep affects me. Sleep affects the way my patience level work, unfortunately, and I should be more cautious of that, right? And because I'm not blaming it on sleep, I'm just recognizing it that this is the effect of this. So it can happen, and I should put in systems like take a trade and maybe block myself out, put my stop loss and break even, to put my stop loss at the stop loss area and just accept the risk, because this was a big trade. Like this could have been a 5.5 trade, but I didn't allow it to do its thing. So what happened was It broke down. As soon as it did pull back, I put my stop loss to break even because I thought I wasn't, unfortunately, patient enough. Unfortunately, I wasn't patient enough. And this trade continued all the way to this fair value gap area where I put my second take profit. But I didn't allow it to hit that area. So sleep effects. Sleep good, be more patient. Or recognize that you had a bad sleep this night, and recognize and see it for what it is, and create a system based on how you will perform. Okay, today I didn't sleep good, right? So I should be more patient in the market. So when I take the trade, I block myself out and leave. Great. Sorry about this. I'm gonna just remind myself so I don't forget. You know, the things I'm teaching, I'm doing the same thing. Like I'm doing the same thing. Like I'm still improving my trading. I'm still trying to perfect it even more, because it never stops. And the one thing I usually say a lot is we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught, because this sleep affects my patience. I wrote it on a post-it note right here. Sleep affects my patience. Now, I put it next to me, so I see it every time I take a trade next week, or every time I come from a bad sleep, I reminded of it. I don't want to make this video to be too long, but so we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. I know these things, but I need to be reminded of them even more to be at the forefront of my mind. So trade London. I traded London session on Thursday and even New York session. So I took this trade, beautiful trade, beautiful trade. I took my first take profit here on the fair value gap area, and I closed the trade early. Why? Because I wanted to have some buffer. I felt the jitteriness of losing this trade, so I wanted to have some buffer to be able to leverage because I was just at the break even level, right? I wanted to have some leverage so I can risk better trades to the next one. So Thursday, 16th of April, same day, but the New York session. This was uh, this is such a clean trade. Like it was, I even took the first position right here on the breakup structure, and I took the same. I added to the position right here on the fair value gap, and I took my first take profit right here. And the thing is, in the broker, when you put your take profit marker, because of fees, commission, and spread that the broker takes, your broker takes that you're trading with, they usually the price when it hits it, it almost doesn't hit it. It wobbles around right at the take profit area. So when it does that, I close the position because look at what happened. It can happen so much, and at the chart, I'm using TradingView as my indicator as what I'm seeing in my broker, right? I'm taking the trade from my broker, but I'm analyzing the technical analysis through my TradingView. So whatever happens, if it hit right here, but it didn't close my position on the broker, it's okay to close it manually. That's fine. Because look at what happened. This continued down and took out the stop loss area. Before, I was so strict with it. If it touches here, I'm not gonna close it, whatever happens in my broker. And it reversed down so many times, and I just got frustrated with that. All right, that's about it. That's how I broke through the equity curve. And today and this week I'm at 3%, which I'm happy with. My goal for every week is to make between 1.5% a week. That's my minimum. Week, not day, week, as the other guys on the Lambo Bros, right? All right, those are my trades. And if you like this video, we got some inspiration from this. Um, Feel free to follow me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, and if you haven't done it already, join the school community. Take care and have a great weekend.